Hello and welcome to the Coliseum pregame show on the Coliseum Sports Network. I'm Raymond Sims, and we commence second round action with today's losers bracket matchup in the Eastern region between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Detroit Tigers. Both of these teams lost their opening games. The Pirates lost 6-1 to the Blue Jays, the Tigers falling to the Cubs in the opening game of this tournament. So now it's win or go home. Charlie Morton will be on the mound tonight for the visiting Pirates. Here's a look at their lineup. Leading off will be the right fielder, Gregory Polanco. Batting second will be the left fielder, Travis Snyder. Batting third will be the center fielder, Andrew McCutchen. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, Gabby Sanchez. Batting fifth will be the catcher, Russell Martin. Batting sixth will be the designated hitter, Pedro Alvarez. Batting seventh will be the second baseman, Neil Walker. Batting eighth will be the third baseman, Josh Harrison, and batting ninth will be the shortstop, Jordy Mercer. Now on Sunday, Andrew McCutchen, who's batting third in this lineup, was drilled in the back with a fastball in a game in Arizona. He could miss some time due to an oblique strain, but he will be in the lineup today. So we'll see if that makes a difference for the Pirates to see if they can advance. But if they do, they may have to do it without McCutchen moving forward. Now, David Price, acquired by Detroit in a three-team deal that sent Austin Jackson to Seattle, who we just saw on Friday, will make his debut in the Coliseum baseball tournament. Here is a lineup for the homestanding Tigers. Leading off will be the new center fielder, Rajai Davis. Batting second will be the second baseman, Ian Kinsler. Batting third will be the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter, Victor Martinez. Batting fifth will be the left fielder, J.D. Martinez. Batting sixth will be the right fielder, Torrey Hunter. Batting seventh will be the third baseman, Nick Castellanos. Batting eighth will be the catcher, Alex Avila. And batting ninth will be the shortstop, Eugenio Suarez. Both of these teams are fighting to stay alive in the Coliseum baseball tournament. The winner will go on to face the loser of Friday's Washington-Milwaukee matchup, which will also be here on the Coliseum Sports Network. We've had scattered storms throughout Metro Detroit today, but that won't put a damper on plans this evening for us, so don't go anywhere. First pitch is right around the corner from Comerica Park. This is the Coliseum Baseball Tournament on the Coliseum Sports Network. Begins here on a dreary day in Detroit, but despite the clouds and for baseball, Detroit Tigers, this one is a win or go home situation. Welcome to downtown Detroit. I'm Raymond Sims. Glad that you could join me today. First of a doubleheader. We're doing two-a-days almost the rest of the way, all the way until the championship game, the championship series. But now we have some second round action to get ready for. So here's another look at the Pittsburgh Pirates starting lineup. Polanco, Snyder, and McCutchen are due up in this lineup. And they will be taking on the newest Detroit Tiger, David Price. He came in a three-team deal from the Tampa Bay Rays. And the only thing the Tigers lost for it was center fielder Austin Jackson. So they're hoping that Price can make a big difference here down the stretch for the Detroit Tigers as they seek out yet another AL as well as a World Series championship. And lead things off, here is the right fielder, Gregory Polanco. First pitch by Polanco, swung on and missed, and that's how we're going to get started from Detroit. Scattered storms around the area scared some fans away, but not too many. Decent crowd as Polanco puts this in play. Rolls into the glove of Kinsler. He's only able to trap it, and Polanco will lead off with a single. And speaking of the Detroit defense, here's pretty much the same one that we saw in that opening game against the Cubs, with the exception of Rajai Davis in for Austin Jackson. And here's the left fielder, Travis Snyder. Went 0 for 3 in that loss to Toronto back on Friday. Looking to have a better day. Honestly, the entire Pittsburgh Pirates offense is looking for a better day. Only 5 hits against Toronto's R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer. Not getting any easier taking on former Rays ace David Price. Snyder fouls this one off down the line. None out early on. Polanco leading off from first. Price looks to first, throws home. Two-seamer in. And here's the 2-1. Another two-seamer in there for a strike, low in the zone, right over the heart. You notice the different looking uniforms for both teams. The first round uniform restrictions that I'll get to later as Snyder rolls this one into right field, able to advance Polanco and get himself on with a single. So 2 straight singles, has 2 Pirates on base, and none out here for the ace David Price. And up Cubs and the reigning NL MVP took a pitch to the back over the weekend against Arizona. So he's suffering from an oblique strain. That much is certain. But the Pirates are currently in the process of evaluating him and seeing how long he'll be out. But because of that, and because of the timing of today's game, he is in the lineup. And we'll see if that oblique strain has any effect on his batting. On Friday, before he suffered the injury, he went 0 for 4. Grounding out 3 times, popping up to short another. So I'm sure if anybody's looking to generate some offense in this, is the one seeking it most. He's facing a 2-1 count here against David Price with Polanco on second and Snyder at first. Here's the 2-1. He'll take the changeup outside but in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Curveball drops outside. Count is full. So McCutchen has David Price's hand. We'll see what Price will do. If he'll throw outside and get McCutchen to chase, or if he'll swing and he'll steal. And Martinez able to catch it just in time, just before it hit the ground. Take a look at it again here. And able to catch it just before it hit the ground. And McCutchen flies out for out number 1. And that'll bring up Gabby Sanchez. Gabby Sanchez making his first appearance in the Coliseum baseball tournament, starting at first today. Ike Davis did the honors. back on Friday. Ike Davis in that spot was the only one to generate offense. He hit a home run, a solo shot to right field that just kept carrying. But now it's on Gabby here. Let's see if he can put bat to ball and bring at least Polanco home. Swings on the 2-0, carrying into right field. Looks like it's going to the warning track, and it's caught. And Polanco won't go. He stays at second. So a fly out to right, caught by Torrey Hunter. And that's 2 outs right there. And so that'll bring up the catcher, Russell Morton. Morton takes the pitch outside. 1 ball, no strike. Here in downtown Detroit, we're mere minutes away from the border between the U.S. and Russell Morton's homeland of Canada. But to get to his actual hometown, it actually takes a couple more hours. Born in the Toronto area, high school in Montreal. 1 ball, 1 strike to Russell. Take the changeup outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So after giving up 2 hits, David Price has been able to neutralize the heart of this order for the Pirates, but not without throwing a lot of pitches. He's already at 19. Here comes number 20. Ooh, inside, ties up Morton. So it may have taken a while, but Price gets the job done as he retires 3 straight batters, and we head into the top of the first. The Tigers getting their first swings at the plate. Welcome back to Detroit. Here's a look at Brad Ausmus's lineup. We took a look at it in the pregame show, but here's a look at it again. Rajai Davis, Ian Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera will lead things off here in the top of the first. And they'll be taking on Pittsburgh's number 2 starter, Charlie Morton. 7-4 in 2013. In 2014, he's actually been struggling as of late, but now would be a good a time as any in an elimination situation for Morton to get his groove back. Morton's throwing his last warm-up pitch, so we'll take a look at the defensive lineup that will be having his back. As said before, only change is Gabby Sanchez at first today in place of Ike Davis. And here is the new center fielder in for Austin Jackson, Rajai Davis. First pitch from Morton, fastball, swing and a miss. Rajai Davis was available to play in that first game against the Cubs. He just didn't. But now with Austin Jackson shipped off to Seattle, it's on Davis to take over center fielding duties. And he grounds out on his first at-bat of the tournament. Out number 1. And here's second baseman Ian Kinsler. First pitch to him in for a strike. Ian Kinsler went 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Check a 2-seamer. This one also inside, but too far inside for the home plate ump's liking. 1 ball, 1 strike. As I was starting off with before with Travis Snyder, you notice the uniforms may look a little different from what you may see usually from either of these teams. That's due to the uniform conditions, as this one's traveling into left field. It's high and it's not coming down until it finds the seats. Solo shot by Kinsler. I'm just not going to be able to tell you about these uniforms, am I? Let's take a look at this on replay. Kinsler getting this one high up in the air, and you just knew it was gone. Drops over the bullpen and into the seats. So a moonshot for Kinsler, and it already puts the Tigers on the board. They're looking to make right after being upset by the Cubs. Never a good feeling for the 1 seed. And the Detroit Tigers are definitely contenders for the AL pennant. So they're looking to get back into shape here and show their worth in this tournament before they actually get to the actual postseason. 1 ball and 1 strike here from Miguel Cabrera. And this one hit directly to Mercer, and that will be another 6-3 put out for out number 2. Here is the designated hitter, Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez's job nowadays is to just be a designated hitter. Though, of course, he can play a little left field, play a little first base if needed, but I think the Tigers are good for now. Martinez hits this one high up in the air. This one's traveling to center field. It's heading towards the hedges, and McCutchen chases it down for out number 3. But Tigers are on the board after 1-0. Pirates give up a run in the bottom of the first, and with Pedro Alvarez coming up to the plate, they're going to see if they can tie things up here. Pedro Alvarez making his first appearance here in the tournament. He came in as the starting third baseman for Pittsburgh, at least coming into the season, but he's really been now he has an opportunity to contribute with the bat. He's also sort of struggled with, but he has a lot of power. He was the NL co-home run king last season. So what better time to use him as a designated hitter than now? He's facing a 2-0 count here to David Price. So he's in good shape. But that 2-seamer up and outside is in there for a strike. Let me finish this uniform thing that I've been trying to get to for the past inning. The uniform guidelines dictated that all teams in the first round wore their grade road uniforms if available. In the case of Miami, they don't wear gray. They're whites. In the second round, all 8 teams will be able to just wear whatever uniform of their choice. And then in the third round is also of choice. Here's a drop strike, but Avila able to complete the strikeout. So Alvarez can't get it done at the plate at least this first time around. We'll see if he can do better next time. Here's Neil Walker, the second baseman, up to the plate. Moved down since the last time we now He's all the way down to the 7th spot. It's not about where you are, it's if you can produce in that spot. Got a good pitch to hit, fouls it off. We'll see if Walker can get another one. 0-1 count. And he'll put this one in play. Rounded up easily by Suarez, and that is out number 2. And now here's Josh Harrison, who is filling in for Pedro Alvarez at third. Josh Harrison has played all over the field this season, and he's really hopped onto the. There's nothing better than a very useful utility man. Swing and a miss on the changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Josh Harrison this year has played third. He's played right, he's played left, and so he has literally been all over the place. And he earned a spot in the All-Star game because of it. That one hit down the line, so he'll have another chance at least one more pitch. 3-0-4 on the season. We'll see if the Pirates can make the playoffs and if he can continue the production heading into the postseason. He gets on with a 2-out single to keep the inning alive for the Pirates. They're looking to tie things up. They're down 1. Here's a look at the pitch on show track, down and over the heart of the plate. Definitely a good pitch to hit. And Price pays for it, putting it in that spot. So here's Jordy Mercer. And close out the Pirate lineup for the first time this afternoon. 4-seamer in there for strike 1. Our first night game of the year. 7:05 start. As we get closer and closer to the championship series, these games are going to start moving into prime time. On 1 count in the dirt. Harrison stays at first. So a little confusion, not much chaos. 2-1 count. Pitch out. If Mercer can get on base, Polanco is due up next to restart the lineup. Two-seamer runs the count full. And here's the payoff pitch with Harrison going. And he'll have to go back. Here's the 3-2 again. This one hit high in the air, carrying. It could drop, and it will, into the glove of Rajai Davis. So David Price sees every Pirate batter in the lineup, but doesn't give up a run heading into the bottom of the second. JD Martinez starts things off here for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning. He'll take a fastball right down Main Street. Or in the case of Detroit, right down Woodward. Breaking ball, fouled off by Martinez. Ooh, swing and a miss on the two-seamer high. And Charlie Morton collects his first strikeout of the game. And here is Torrey Hunter. Veteran right fielder. Take a curveball just in there for a strike. He's been playing He's been playing in the majors since 1997. Became a full-time player in 1999, both with the Twins. Was with that team for 11 seasons before becoming an Angel until 2012, and then coming here in 2013. He lines out directly to Sanchez for out number 2. Not much movement required for Sanchez to collect that out. Just had to make sure he had the reflexes to catch that laser, and he does. So there's 2 out and nobody on for Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos, born in Davie, Florida. Pretty much grew up in the Miami area. He's been in the Tigers organization since 2010 when he was drafted in the first round. Debuted at the end of last season during the September roster expansions. And he's been with the team this year as their starting third baseman. Not too shabby either with the 259 average coming in. 1 strike for Castellanos. Looking to keep the inning alive. There's 2 outs and the bases are empty. And the Tigers, off of a solo shot by Ian Kinsler in the previous inning, are leading 1-0. Here's the 2-1 from Morton. Castellanos takes it on the 2-seamer. 3 balls and 1 strike. If Castellanos reaches, Alex Avila will be due up next. And Castellanos will take the pitch and take his base. First walk given up by Charlie Morton. And so next up here is Alex Avila attended the exact same high school as the man on base, Nick Castellanos. Both went to Archbishop McCarthy. But Avila spent a little time in college going to the University of Alabama. Castellanos leading off from first. Avila looking to keep the inning alive, swings at this one and fouls it off. Ball in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Avila's been a heck of a catcher, made the All-Star game in 2011, but his production with the bat has really fallen off. 227 last year. He's batting team. Count runs full to Avila. Avila did get a single in the game against the Cubs. but he went 1 for 4 overall, including a strikeout and a walk. Hits this one into play and misplayed by Walker, but still able to get the out. So it looked like trouble there, but the Pirates are able to close out the inning and led to the top of the third. Still 1-0 in favor of Detroit. All 9 hitters have come up for Pittsburgh in the first 2 innings, so we restart the lineup. Here's Gregory Polanco. He got on with a single his last time up, was left stranded after Price surrendered 2 straight hits and then retired 3 straight batters. He's essentially been dealing ever since, retiring 6 of the last 7 batters. 2-0 count here to Polanco, though. Top of the third, David Price already at 40 pitches. Going to look to take care of business in fewer pitches, and if he's able to force pop-ups like that moving forward, then he shouldn't have a problem. So at 1 out, here's Travis Snyder. He also singled his last time up. He was left stranded on first. Swings on the first pitch he sees, honestly jammed him, and he pays for it on the 4-3 putout. And here's Andrew McCutchen back up at the plate, lined out his last time up. Takes a strike. Smacks the 0-1 high in the air. It's veering right, heading towards the warning track, and caught on the diving catch by Rajay Davis. Mercy, what a third out. Rajay Davis in place of Austin Jackson, putting it all on the line. It's 1-0 heading into the bottom of the third. Eugenio Suarez, the last Tiger, to make his first appearance. Looking to get the offense going here. The Tigers currently leading 1-0. Morton throws a changeup outside. Kick and delivery from Morton. The 1-1 is a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Charlie Morton, lest you confuse him with the manager from the late 1800s. He's a right-hander, born in Flemington, New Jersey, but went to high school in Reading, Connecticut. He was drafted in 2002 by the Braves and spent 6 in 08. Suarez hits this one to the second baseman, and that's out number 1. The 4-3 putout was the way we ended the second, as Avila did the same thing. So here's Rajay Davis up at the plate. He's been making some great plays, showing off a lot of range. He grounded out to short his last time up. We'll see if he can continue the web gems with the bat. He won't there, takes a strike, 0-1. Rajay's been a bit of a journeyman his career. drafted in 2001, hits this one back too short, and Mercer struggles to pick it up. So Mercer's on. I'd say it's a single, perhaps. I'd say it's a single, but we'll see what the official score says. But nevertheless, Davis is on, and he's just been continuing what has been a very great game. In the meantime, here's Ian Kinsler. There was no doubt about whether or not he was on bases last time up. He hit a solo home run. So we are going to go with the hit here for Rajay Davis. For the 0-1 count. Now Rajay's not afraid to snag a couple of bags or two. He has 26 so far in 2014. This one popped up in the air, playable for Sanchez, and it was actually pretty easy to get out number 2. So the second at-bat from Kinsler ends with something going in the air. It just happens to drop softly into the glove of a first baseman. So little fanfare there compared to the last at-bat. And here's Miguel Cabrera, who himself grounded out to short back in the first inning. Rajay Davis has stolen 40-plus bags, going back to 2009 with the he stole in 2011. Needless to say, he can definitely go. Bruh. Change up at the knees. 3 balls and no strike. Morton's going to have to put something in the zone, much to his hesitancy, if he's going to keep Cabrera from getting on base. Here's the pitch. Outside. 4 pitches, 4 balls, and a walk from Miguel Cabrera. So he'll get on base for the first time today. It's his first walk drawn of the tournament. And here's Victor Martinez, had 2 singles and a strikeout in their game against the Cubs, but he flew out to center back in the first, and that was one of the first balls that Rajay Davis that Andrew McCutchen actually chased down. Didn't show off that range. It would have been extra bases. 2 out, 2 on, and the 2-seamer draws inside against Victor Martinez. And this one right up the middle. So Davis is going to have enough space to turn the corner, and he will come home. It is now 2-0 off the RBI single by Victor Martinez. Pitching coach comes up to talk things over with Charlie Morton, make sure he's all right. Because by the score, not looking all right just yet. 2 runs given up in 2 2/3. Pitch in there for a strike to J.D. Martinez. Four-seamer high, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's fouled off. One, two, low in there for ball two. Martinez able to foul that one off. Curveball inside, runs the count full. And Morton is on the verge of walking the bases full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 Tigers on. And here's the pitch, jammed inside. Here's the 3-2 again, and this one hitting the left field, still carrying, and into the stands, a 3-run shot by J.D. Martinez. Holy Bobby Higginson, this one, the route just seems to be on here from Detroit as J.D. Martinez is able to bring them all home. And it is now a 5-0 game with Torrey Hunter coming up to the plate. So the base is clear, 2 out. Here in the bottom of the third, Torrey Hunter going to see if he can add anything on. A 5-0 lead here for the Tigers. Looking to assert the dominance that they failed to in the late innings against the Cubs. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Hunter sends this one, and you're not catching that. There's another souvenir for left field as that is gone. I vaguely remember at times throughout the first round saying that I wanted to be a little greedy and hope for back-to-back home runs because, hey, those are fun. It's happened here, and it's the first time in the tournament that we've had back-to-back home runs. First one, a 3-run shot by J.D. Martinez, and then Torrey Hunter taking the trip on his own. So it is now 6-0 in favor of the Tigers. Here's Nick Castellanos. First pitch, a ball. Clint Hurdle leaving the starter Charlie Morton out here to get out of this situation on his own. It's going to take a heck of a lot of run support from the Pirates to get back in this one. They have a grand total of 1 run between this game and their loss to Toronto. And this one hit down the line but foul. Two-seamer up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Four-seamer up, runs the count full. Alex Avila due up next here in what has been a big inning for the Detroit Tigers. 5 runs have crossed the plate. And this one down the left field side. Five Tigers have crossed the plate in this half inning. 2 balls have sailed over the fence. And the struggle continues for Charlie Morton, and Clint Hurdle has seen enough. He was hoping that Morton could get out of the situation on his own, but it just seems that Morton fell apart in 2 2/3 innings. So you have a pitching change, and brought in early here, the righty Jean-Mar Gomez. Going to be a tall task here for Gomez to get out of the inning, but he will be taking on a struggling hitter in Alex Avila. So the bullpen going here in the bottom of the third. I'm sure coming into this game, Clint Hurdle did not want that to happen. And Avila puts this one in after grounding to second his last time up. Castellanos on second, and the inning continues with 2 outs. Mind you, this offensive outburst has happened with 2 outs. So the Tigers have not been afraid to swing despite the chance that another retirement would lead to the end of this inning. But we're going to keep the party going as we have batted around. And here is Eugenio Suarez. 6 team hits for the Tigers in this inning. And Suarez now is the only Tiger that has yet to reach base. Swing and miss on the sinker. No balls, 2 strikes, and he's on the verge of doing it again. And this one hit, collected by Sanchez, and able to get the force at second. So we bat around for the first time. We have back-to-back homers for the first time in this tournament as the Tigers assert their dominance 6-0. Hear them roar. Here's Gabby Sanchez, who just helped end what was a disastrous inning for the Pirates. They give up 5 runs in the bottom of the third, and it's going to take a lot of run support for the Pirates to make it up. But why not start here in the top of the fourth with David Price and Gabby Sanchez up at the plate. Price now 45 pitches in with that throw. And this one hit in the air. It could drop fair, and it just doesn't. It was just over the line. So we're going to have to do that one again. Two-seamer low for 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this one will end up in fair territory, but the out is made by Hunter. So Sanchez was trying to get something going, hitting a squeaker down the right field line, but Hunter was on it when it went fair. And that's out number 1. Here's Russell Martin. First pitch to Martin is a ball. So Price, now in after 3 1/3 innings of work, is at 50 pitches. As the 51st is fouled off. We'll see how much of an effect his pitch count is on his performance. Check swing, appeal to first, and he did not go. Another swing and a miss by Martin. Martin got a double and then flew out to center twice against Toronto. So he's also going to be looking to generate some offense here. He's one of the few Pirates that were able to do so in the last game. He's looking to be one of the Pirates to do it in this game. He struck out his last time up to end the first. And he'll do it again. Strikeout swinging. 2 Ks for Russell Martin, and that's out number 2. Pedro Alvarez struck out back in second. It was a drop strike, but it was still a strike nonetheless. Or strikeout nonetheless. But as we discussed before, Alvarez has really been struggling lately. Making his first appearance, but only because this is an AL park and the DH is being used. If Pittsburgh was the home team, he would probably be on the bench again. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, though. It is being discussed as to whether or not Pedro Alvarez can play first. We'll have to learn a couple of new tricks. It's not something that's impossible. Definitely a good move. Put him out in the field every day in an NL park. As this one goes up in the air, and Hunter's under it, had to reach back for it, but gets the out anyways. So strong defense and strong offense keeps the Tigers ahead heading into the bottom of the 4th, 6-0. Rajai Davis, he's been great out in the field, and he was able to get a single to start off the first. So now here to start off that big third inning. So now he's back up to start off the 4th. Slider in the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeanmar Gomez still up on the mound, replacing Charlie Morton. Another slider in there from Gomez. Gomez signed with the Indians in 2005 as a free agent from Caracas, Venezuela, from the capital of that fair country. Davis fouls that one off. Spent 3 seasons with the Indians, did Gomez, after making his debut in 2010. Spent 5 years in the minors. And then came to Pittsburgh, not too far from Detroit, in 2013. This one hit, 4-3 put out for out number 1. And here's N. Kinsler up at the plate, hit a home run in the first, and then popped up in the third. Sinker in there for strike 1. To finish off Gomez's story, though, he came to Pittsburgh not far down the highway, being traded in January of 2013 for minor leaguer Quincy Lattimore. But we see who's at the major league level now. Lattimore is currently in Double-A Washington, or well, Harrisburg is what that is, as Kinsler hits this one down the line. Meanwhile, Gomez has been pitching at the major league level. He's been doing pretty all right, both this season and since he's arrived. Another ball misplayed by Jordy Mercer, and Kinsler's on with the single. So here's Miguel Cabrera up at the plate. He walked in the third and eventually came home. That's another base hit there, but that's not the first time we've seen Jordy Mercer misplay a ball that I guess you could say ate him up, but for the most part, it just seems like a play that most shortstops should be making. The Pirates have had trouble trying to find a consistent shortstop, but Jordy Mercer's pretty much been it this season. So I guess you have to take the good with the bad. Miggy takes a cutter, 2 balls, 1 strike. Brent Morrell was optioned in Indianapolis, while Dean Anna, who is a shortstop himself, was designated for assignment. Cabrera puts this one in play. Mercer able to make this one, and the 6-4-3 put out double play is made. So Cabrera grounding into a double play to close out the inning, and the Tigers actually come up with nothing in an inning. Still 6-0. Raymond Sims here from Detroit to start off the second round. The Tigers, making up for lost time, fell to the Cubs in the opening game of the Coliseum baseball tournament. But they are really putting it to the Pirates here as we head into the top of the 5th. Neil Walker leading off. And the Pirates are down 6-0. First pitch from Price in there for a strike. And this one fouled off. Neil Walker grounded to short his last time up, way back in the second inning. Here's the 0-2. Check swing on the 2-seamer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cutter flies high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-seamer outside, runs the count full. Josh Harrison, one of only 3 Pirates that has been able to get a hit off of Price, is due up next. Payoff pitch fouled off. Payoff pitch number 2 fouled off. Payoff pitch number 3. Fouled off. And Walker going toe-to-toe here with one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's not going down without a fight. Here's the payoff pitch number 4. Put in play. Rounded up by Kinsler. And the out is made. So after a valiant effort, a 9-pitch at bat, Walker able to fight off some pitches, but in the end, it ends with a ground out. So 1 out here with Josh Harrison coming up to the plate. Going to look to see if he can get another run. One ball and 1 strike here to Josh Harrison. Four-seamer in there, 2 balls and 1 strike. This one gets aerial, but it will veer foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Harrison. Looking to get some offense going. The Pirates have been shut out so far. 6-0. We saw the Pirates fall 6-1. As this one's popped up high in the air, left field, still going to the warning track, and gone. This one lands in the Tigers' bullpen. And there you have it. The Pirates on the board here in the top of the 5th inning. So the rest of the team hasn't been able to do it, but Josh Harrison seems to have cracked the code on David Price. Harrison, the only bucko with multiple hits so far this evening. So here's Jordy Mercer in what is now a 6-1 game. Flew out his last time up. He's made a couple of, he's had his bit of struggles out in the field. So Mercer's probably looking to make good. Up at the plate. And Mercer will drop this one. Diving catch. Out number 2 is a flashy one. We've seen multiple Tigers put it out on the floor. And there's Cabrera, as Kinsler was right there too. And so here's Gregory Polanco. Led off the game with a single. And then popped back to the catcher his last time up. The Pirates lost to Toronto by this very score, 6-1. I was going to say before the Harrison home run, as this, that the 6-0 deficit would have been the most dominant win. But Harrison keeping the Pirates in it somewhat at 6-1 as we're halfway home. Victor Martinez leads off the 5th after finding himself in the middle in the 3rd inning. He brought the first run home with an RBI single. The first run of that 3rd inning, the 2nd run of the game. Gmar Gomez still dealing here for the Pirates. Just He's given up 2 hits so far and nothing more. He's even forced the All-Star Miguel Cabrera to ground in so far for Gomez. And he really just has to hold water until the rest of the bullpen spells him. Gomez not facing too much pressure here. I'm sure he came up to the mound and the pitching coach told him, you can't get those runs back, the ones given up by Morton. But you can hold your own. And the pressure would fall on the bats to see if they can get back in. This Harrison has already seen if he can get it going, and the defense trying to see if they can hold on here as we lead off with another 4-3 putout. Here's the other Martinez. This one hit a 3-run shot right after Victor brought a run home. So JD decided to one-up Victor, but all the same, it brought more runs on for the Tigers. First pitch from Gomez is a ball. Let's see what Martinez does. Before that home run in the third, he struck out his first time up in the second. Boom or bust scenario with JD Martinez. Just in case you're wondering what the JD stands for in Martinez, and why wouldn't you wonder every now and again? Julio Daniel Martinez. He'll foul this one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he'll foul this one down the third base side. Oddly enough, his third base coach did not move out of the way. I guess he knew it was coming, wasn't too worried. JD also a Miamian, like several other of these players on the Tigers roster. But he went to high school in Pembroke Pines and attended college at Nova Southeastern. Here's the 2-2. Again, this one put in play. Mercer rounds it up, and that's a 6-3 put out for out number 2. Here is Torrey Hunter, who just coming up off of JD Martinez's 3-run shot, hit one of his own. We'll see if he can get on base here. One ball and 1 strike to Torrey Hunter. And this one popped up in the air. McCutchen should be under it easily, and he is for out number 3. So a strong 5th inning from the Pirates gives them just a teensy bit of hope leading to the 6th. Snyder, McCutchen, and Sanchez all due up. As the evening continues on here in Detroit. Two-seamer in there for strike 2. Price is now 80 pitches into his outing. Snyder fouls off number 81. Can't get Snyder to chase outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and another strikeout for David Price. That's number 4 today. And despite the number of pitches, David has just been carrying on the mound. So here's Andrew McCutchen, who just has not been able to get the bat going here in the tournament so far. After going 0 against Toronto, he's now still 0 here against Detroit. Lined out to left his last time up, flew out to center. Right his 3rd time around. So with the lack of offensive production, you can't quite tell if it's the oblique strain or if it's just having trouble against good pitching. But the reigning NL MVP has been anything but so far in this tournament. 0 for 7 between both games. And here's Gabby Sanchez, who himself has flown out to right a couple of times. Huge swing and a miss on the changeup. Already in the hole, 0-2. Price looking to close out this inning. Throws a waste pitch, a changeup outside. He went 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd and the 4th and retired 3 of 4 batters in the 5th. Gonna have to wait another pitch. That one in the dirt for ball 2. This one put in play. Right to Kinsler. 3 up, 3 down. The Siders retired. Tigers doing a good job so far, looking to stay alive, but the Pirates gonna look to see if they can hold on in the bottom of the 6th. Nick Castellanos up at the plate. He's done a lot of walking today, 2 to be exact. He'll take a 4-seamer for strike 1. Castellanos tied up on a sinker well inside. If he didn't move, chances are that would have hit him. Maybe for the sake of his safety, it was good he swung. But he reaches on a slider outside and he goes down on strikes. Gomez, 2 2/3 innings of work, gets his first strikeout of the game. He hasn't really given up much else either. Here's Alex Avila. One ball and no strike to the man that grounded out to second and hit a single. Here's the 2-0. And Avila puts this one in play. Once again, rounded up to second. Outmade at first. David Price isn't looking to be the only one to have a quick inning. Gomez has done very well since coming in. He's only given up 2 hits, and he hasn't given up his last one since the 4th inning. Gonna look to make slight work of Suarez. Suarez grounded out in the 3rd, and then hit into a force play at the end of that very inning. So now he's back. Here's the 3-0 to Suarez, and he will take his base. So Gomez cannot close out the inning, and here's Rajay Davis. We saw this kind of trouble last time. Charlie Morton was able to get 2 outs on the first 3 batters. 3 batters. It just could not get that 3rd out. We'll see if Gomez will have a better time with this. He actually has 3 innings to his name so far. So if he gets this out to Davis, it will be 3 1/3 that he finishes with. Cutter taken, ball 2. Or strike 1 rather. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis takes another sinker. 3 balls and 1 strike. And this one put in play, rounded up easily by Sanchez. He will take it on his own. Thank you very much. And the Pirates close out the inning. So nothing to fear there. The Pirates hanging on here in the middle innings, but the Tigers ahead big, 6-1. Here's a look at the game summary, and you see that 5 in the bottom column, in the bottom section for the 3rd. Yeah, that was a pretty big inning, and the Tigers are ahead 6-1. Here's Russell Martin. 0 of 2 today. Two-seamer low for ball 1. You may have seen that in the bullpen graphic, Joakim Soria another new Detroit Tiger coming up here from Texas in the bullpen. It's very interesting for the new Tigers to be the ones to help them win this game. Both teams in a winner-go-home situation. Loser is eliminated from the tournament. The winner will take on the loser of Washington and Milwaukee. This one hit in the air, easily playable for Torrey Hunter for out number 1. Here's the designated hitter, Pedro Alvarez. He's had trouble finding the bat as of late, including in this game, 0 for 2. You have to cut him just a little bit of slack, just because he's taking on David Price, who, as you see from the pitch distribution, has been dealing. 2-to-1 ratio in terms of balls and strikes to balls. So while David Price is up at 96 pitches, it's not like he's been struggling the whole way. And this one put in play, rounded up by Kinsler as he was playing back on the front of the outfield grass. And that shift works out as he's able to collect out number 2. That is now 0 for 3 today with a strikeout by Pedro Alvarez. And now here's Neil Walker up at the plate. He's grounded out twice. Last one was a 4-3, just like this Alvarez hit. Walker takes a 2-seamer outside, but in the zone, 0-1. One ball and 1 strike to Neil Walker. Base is empty, and they honestly have been for a while. David Price has been going to work here in the later innings. Walker fouls this off. Gave up 2 hits in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth, and that's it. This one put in play. Kinsler yet again. And both second basemen have been having to do a lot of work, but it's been paying off on both sides, specifically for Kinsler, as we have another 3-up, 3-down inning. It's time to stretch, people. The Tigers looking to be on their way to the next round, 6-1. Jimar Gomez done good in his 3 1/3 innings of work, so here's Ernesto Frieri to see if he can carry the Pirates defense the rest of the way. Don't want to give up any more runs. They already gave up 6 in the first 3 innings. And this was the first guy they gave one up to, Ian Kinsler, going yard to left field. That was the only run scored in the first, and then after a hitless second, the Tigers just went to town in the third. See, as I said before, if you're checking out the snazzy uniforms from both teams, that's because in the second round and the rest of the way, teams, it was required for the road team to wear their normal road uniforms and the home team to wear their normal home uniforms in the first round, with a special provision made to the visiting Marlins when they went to Milwaukee. If they do not wear their road grays, they wear their black uniforms and sometimes their alternate orange uniforms when they are away from Marlins Park. Here in Detroit, though, bottom of the seventh, 6-1. Kinsler takes a four-seamer, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In place. It'll be interesting to see what they wear in Oakland for the second game today between the Mariners and the Athletics. This one hit right up the middle, bounces off of the mound and into center field, and that's a leadoff single for Ian Kinsler. And almost so with Kinsler on first, here's Miguel Cabrera. In the later innings of the Cubs game, Miguel Cabrera hit a home run to right field, showing a little opposite power. See what he can do here. He's 0 for 3 with a ground out into a double play, and a walk. And he'll take a changeup in there for strike one. Tigers have 8 team hits to the Pirates 4. And that's only a difference of 4, and yet it just, when you look at the score, if this score holds, the Tigers will tie with the Blue Jays for the most dominant win so far in the tournament at 5 runs. And it would be interesting considering that it's against the exact same team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. If the Pirates are indeed the last team, one of the last teams in the East, I think 2 words that could describe them would be no offense. But some defense shown as Frieri is able to get the strikeout on Miguel Cabrera. So it has just not been Miggy's day. You can see where the pitch was, and Cabrera didn't have any choice but to swing, but it would have been a hard task for him to do so. Here's Victor Martinez, the designated hitter. RBI single back in the third. Hasn't reached base in either of the other 2 times. Going to see what he can do here as he takes the pitch outside. Kinsler waiting on first, waiting to be advanced. He is capable of stealing a bag or 2, but we haven't seen much small ball in this game from the Tigers. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. 2-0 count here to Martinez. Ooh, and he'll take a 2-seamer in there for strike 1. That one a bit high in the zone, but it looked to be over the heart of the plate. Interesting that Martinez. We'll see what he'll do on the 2-1. And there's Kinsler going for it, but Martinez swings. Seemed to be a hit and run. It looked like Kinsler had a very good jump on it, too. Like if Martinez had let it go, Morton might not have been able to catch Kinsler stealing second. But it won't be on Victor to do anything about it as Martinez goes down looking. And here's J.D. Martinez, and here's a replay of what he did in that 5-run third inning. He took a 3-run shot to left field. That put the Tigers up 5-0 at the time. Four-seamer outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss on the four-seamer by Martinez. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this one popped back down the line to the dugout. And it'll just land there. Nobody moving in the Pirates dugout. Nobody wanted a foul ball from a Tiger. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. With 2 outs and Kinsler on first. This one just foul. That would have definitely been some trouble for the Pirates fielders if that had gone fair. Pickoff attempt at first. Martinez fouls the one off. Trying to give the Tigers pitching, rather that comes up. Trying to give them a little more insurance here in the later innings. And this one is fair and lands into right field. Polanco tried to play it and missed it. And that'll be an RBI double to make it 7-1 in favor of the Detroit Tigers. So here's Torrey Hunter. He was the other guy to go yard in the 3rd inning. He was the 3rd Tiger to take one over the fence. So now Martinez at second, and he's waiting to come home with 2 outs. Two outs has never left a fan base so worrisome because it was 2 outs in the 3rd when the Tigers got their rally going. On the other hand, Jimar Gomez was able to close out the 6th when he had 2 outs. He gave up a walk, but then was able to get Rajay Davis to ground out to first. So how will Ernesto Frieri respond here in the 7th? Hunter hits this one in the left field. It should be playable, and it is. Drops into the glove of Snyder for out number 3. So 1 run comes home, and that'll give the Tigers a 6-run lead. Josh Harrison, the only Pirate to have more than 1 hit in this game. And he'll lead off the top of the 8th inning. David Price still in. He's just going to keep pitching until the wheels fall off. Might as well. He's at 101. But like I said, he's actually still seems to be in pretty good shape. He's thrown 68 strikes to 34 balls as he's now at 102 pitches. So why not keep going until something goes wrong? And Harrison hits this one straight to Suarez, but is able to leg out the single. Good fielding by Suarez, just could not get the angle to get that out at first. So Josh Harrison, sitting here at 8th in the lineup, is 3 for 3 today. And he is the only Pirate in either the 2 games that they have played to have a multi-hit game. I was actually going to espouse that fact just before that hit. But the fact that he's on first base now to lead off the 8th kind of exacerbates my point. Here's Jordy Mercer, who by comparison hasn't gotten a hit since the third inning of the game against Toronto when he had a single. He's flown out and he's popped up in this game. Going to see if he can get Harrison to advance. Reaches for a pitch on the outer half, and it fouls off. Swung on and missed. And there's yet another strikeout, number 5 for David Price. And it's night and day in terms of the starter comparison. Charlie Morton just couldn't make it to 3 innings. 100-plus pitches strong. Here's Gregory Polanco. Last half inning, tried to make a play on a hit to right field by J.D. Martinez and missed it, and was sent tumbling into center field while McCutchen covered for him by collecting it off the warning track. But that brought in another run and makes it the 6-run game that it is this evening. Polanco, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Polanco hits this one, rounded up by Suarez, able to make the play at second, but cannot complete the 6-4-3 double play. So Polanco on base, still with 1 hit. So here is Travis Snider with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. This one in the dirt, nobody moving. This 6-run game is the largest margin, if this score holds on, would be the largest margin of victory. At the same time, 7 runs is the most scored by a team in this tournament so far. It happened twice. The Twins, when they upset the Dodgers in 10, scored 7. And the Cubs, when they beat these very Tigers, scored 7 and won 7-5. Both of those games were 7-5 games with the lower seed winning. Very interesting. Looks like it's going to be the other way around today if things hold pat. But the Pirates still have a couple of outs left to make something happen, but the chances are dwindling. 2 out. Gregory Polanco on first, and the pitch to Snider, a 2-seamer inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the cutter, low and outside. If Snider is able to reach, Andrew McCutchen due up next. He's gone 0 for in this entire tournament, dealing with an oblique strain. But now would be a good time to lay down that offense. If not, McCutchen will be back at home, resting that back for at least a month. Pitch inside, and that'll be a walk. So David Price not out of the woods just yet. Gives up a walk to Travis Snider. And here is Andrew McCutchen. Regardless if the Pirates can pull off the comeback, chances are McCutchen's probably going to be going home anyways. But this will be his last chance to contribute to his team. It's expected, according to the reports, that he'll be out for a month. So even if the Pirates are able to advance to, say, the championship after pulling out this game, this one in the dirt, runners advancing, Avila collects it, and Snider and Polanco will move 90 feet. Pirates threatening to poke a hole into this deficit. So like I said, even if the Pirates can pull off this comeback, and get to, say, the championship, there probably won't be enough time for McCutchen to get back. So that would be a feat for sure, as the Pirates would be without their star, the reigning NL MVP, but still be able to win the Coliseum tournament. But here in the present, chances of that happening are looking slim. Price at 119 pitches here in the top of the 8th with 2 balls and 1 strike. Price might be getting a little bit tired, but he's really been holding it down throughout this game. He's playing with house money, so we'll see how big the leash is, or how long the leash is for Brad Ausmus, if he'll allow Price to maybe concede a run or 2, or if he will bring in somebody else if Price is showing signs of fatigue. 3-1 count here to McCutchen, and McCutchen will walk, and that is his first time on base in this entire tournament. So he's 0 for 8 overall, but he is able to get on base here the last time. And so that will be enough from David Price, but you got to applaud his effort. The bases are now loaded. It'll be up to another new Tiger, Joakim Soria, to close things out here in this inning and possibly in this game. And so here's Gabby Sanchez, grounded out his last time up, flew out to right the other 2 times. Here's the first pitch to Sanchez. Cutter in. Here's a look. Polanco on third. Snyder in second. McCutchen at first. A grand slam would turn this into a whole new ball game and make it. Swung on and missed on the fastball. In that game against the Cubs, it was the bullpen who struggled to close things out for Detroit. But will this new blood in Soria change things? That fastball high and inside causing some problems here. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Gabby Sanchez looking to bring some more Pirates home. He will take a fastball for strike 2. Here's the 2-2. Pitch outside, a slider. Veering to the outer half. And the count is full. A Pirate. Payoff pitch. Hit directly to third base. And the out made 5-3. And Joakim Soria gets the Tigers out of a jam. It is still 7-1.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Pirates, number 48, Jared Hughes.
Welcome back to Detroit. Nick Castellanos leading off the 8th inning. David Price, towards the end of his tenure on the mound, left the bases loaded for Joakim Soria to fish the team out of the jam. And he did just that, as the Pirates left 3 runners stranded at a crucial moment that could have kept them alive in this tournament. But here in the bottom of the 8th, the Tigers can see if they can put on any more insurance, see if they can take the clubhouse lead for most runs in a game. After giving up 7 in Game 1, in this game for Detroit, they have scored just as much now. This one put in play, rounded up by Walker, and the 4-3 putout is made. Here's another summary of the line score. There's not enough offense for the Pirates in either their 2 games. And as the outs, the amount of available outs continues to slowly be on their way to quietly exiting from this tournament. First pitch that Avila sees, he hits, and hits it right to Neil Walker. Unlike some of the other games we've seen, looks like both second basemen for both teams have been getting more of a workout than usual. You usually see a lot of these pitches being hit to short, where they have to make the 6-3 putout. But we've had a lot of 4-3s today. Jarrett Hughes coming into the game here in the 8th, just trying to hold it down. As said before, about an inning or 2 ago, these pitchers for the Pirates just coming in with the understanding that they can't get the runs back and that they can only pitch to the best of their abilities and hope that the bat can make up for it. It's especially a helpless feeling for these pitchers as this one is hit and drops into right field. So Suarez gets his first hit of the game, and he gets 2 bases. So a 2-out double by Eugenio Suarez. So every Tiger has been on base in this game, and Nick Castellanos is the only Tiger to not get a hit, as Suarez finally gets his here in the later stages. But as said before about the Pirates pitching, definitely a helpless feeling, especially as we play in an American League Park where you don't get to directly contribute. Not that relief pitchers usually do at this juncture. There's usually a lot of pinch hitting going on and double switches. But still, a helpless feeling for these Pirate pitchers is all they can do is just make sure they don't add on runs, as opposed to helping generate them. And this one hit, rounded up by Walker. This could be out number 3, and it is. So a quick 8th inning with only a hit surrender. We come up to the top of the 9th. Do the Pirates have a miracle in them? Otherwise, it's time to go home. 7-1 in favor of the Tigers.
Leading off for the Pirates, catcher, Russell Martin.
It's the final 3 outs here for the Pirates, as Russell Martin will lead off the inning. It is within this frame that the Pirates will have to generate a miracle comeback. Not the most impossible thing. We've seen it happen here at Comerica Park. Martin gets this one high up in the air, chased down by Rajai Davis, and it will drop as he misses the dive. A ground rule double for Russell Martin. Those diving catches sure do look beautiful when they're complete, but when something like this happens, it's really just a face plant. But you have to bless Rajai Davis for trying. Again, a ground rule double for Russell. Will come up to the plate. Now be a good time to find his bat. He struck out on a drop strike way back in the 2nd, but he can bat in a run here in the top of the 9th. But as said before, we've seen a huge lead blown. Heading into the top of the ninth, the Tigers were leading 5-1, and the Tigers bullpen gave up 4 runs in the. It was actually 5-3 rather, and the Tigers bullpen gave up 4 runs in the top of the ninth. And then the Tigers had to go ahead and play the bottom of the ninth and just couldn't get any offense going. But we'll see if Joakim Soria can close things out here. Margin of victory is too big for a save, but Soria just needs to hold things down and get these 3 outs. Four-seamer runs the count full. Neil Walker has been all over the place out on defense. Pirates trying to get a rally going. Trying to keep from losing by 6. Kinsler, the Tigers' second baseman, will make the first out of the inning as Morton is able to advance to third at least. He's alone standing on the hot corner, looking at least to close out the deficit. So I said before, here's Neil Walker. He's made a fair share of putouts. And he'll take a slider for strike 1. If the Tigers want the double play to close out the game, they're going to have to get creative. As Walker fouls this one off. Usually you might have a runner at first and you can get them to hit into the double play. 4-6-3, 6-4-3, what have you. But with Morton at home, or with Morton at third rather, it's a bit of a different ball game. Swing and a miss. So we won't need a double play here as Soria gets the strikeout. And that'll bring up Josh Harrison. He's generated the only run for the Pirates in this game. On Friday it was Ike Davis. Today it's Josh Harrison. But Harrison's gone a step further. He's gone 3 for 3 today. One ball, no strike here to Harrison. Morton still waiting at third. And this one is hit, drops into left field, and gets past the glove of Martinez. Harrison will come in with a 2-out double.
The batter, number 10, shortstop,
Josh Harrison, 4 for 4, and it's going to hurt to see that production go away. Harrison led off on Friday, where he finished 1 for 4 with a single and a strikeout. And now today, 4 for 4. And as Jordy Mercer comes up, he's going to see if he can keep the inning going. But as I said before, it's a huge deficit here. And that production from the spectacular Josh Harrison might be going away very soon. First pitch inside to Mercer for a ball. At the very least, we will not see the largest margin of victory in this game, which would have been 6 as this one's in the dirt. But it will instead be back down to 5. Which, again, the the Tigers will have tied with the Blue Jays for that largest margin of victory, and it will be against the very same team. Mercer puts this one in play, rounded up by Suarez, and that is the ball game. It was win or go home, and the Tigers responded big as they shut out the Pirates' offense virtually. They do give up 2 runs. But otherwise, just a huge victory here as the Tigers will stay alive and the Pirates will be going home. We have our first team eliminated in the tournament as things get real. And the Tigers will move on to face the loser of Washington and Milwaukee, as the Tigers, who in real life are contenders for the AL pennant, will have to dig their way out if they want to win the Eastern region. Here's a look at the summary in case you missed it. 2 runs generated by the Pirates. That huge third inning was all the difference. 5 runs scored by the Tigers. Price with the win, Morton with the loss. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't show you the top player of the game. It could have been a number of Tigers. Anybody could have got it. But in the end, it's Ian Kinsler who led off the offense when he hit that solo home run back in the first inning. Finishes the day 3 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Top player of the game in this 7-2 victory for the Tigers. But that will do it for this presentation of the Coliseum Baseball Tournament on the Coliseum Sports Network, presented by SimsColiseum.com. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Sims Coliseum on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. From Detroit, it's been a good one. The Tigers win 7-2 and advance to the 3rd round. I'm Raymond Sims. Thank you for watching.